how's it going? So I'm going to read for you chapter 12, and I got some little notes that I'll read, no pictures or anything. Mainly it's just going to be me talking to you guys more about the concepts that are going on and where I'm going with this. So for now, I shall read to you chapter 12. It's called Like a Puzzle. Alright. She was the most beautiful cadaver we had ever seen. A masterpiece. She stood there like a sculpture, her skin like marble, her blood like roses, her face like a dead rabbit. I feel different. What's wrong? I sat there in complete silence while my mind was rushing as fast as the blood in my veins. Huh? What? He started to play with a penny in his hand. The scent of copper was making me sick. As all his attention steered toward the penny in his hand, he mumbled, "Do what feels right." I heard his heart skip a beat and butterfly wings brush against the lining of my stomach. I couldn't breathe. Don't overthink. Everything will be okay. I felt the tears building as my face began to hurt and my throat constricted. Then I fell apart. River sat beside me and held me as if I were a little child. I sat there quivering as if everything was over. I sunk my head in his chest, then I looked at him and I saw a tear fall from his eye. Then he looked down at me and smiled. "You look beautiful when you cry." We kissed and I could taste his tears on my tongue. I sat on top of him facing his direction and I kissed him. I kissed his eyelids and his cheeks and his chin and his nose and his forehead. Then I kissed his lips. He held me closer. He traced circles on my back as I stroked behind his neck. I broke the kiss and pushed him on the bed. Then I took off my dress and threw it on the floor. He looked at me as if he had never seen the body of a woman before. "I could never show you anything as beautiful as you." I smiled and he leaned forward and pulled me down. He turned me over and whispered, "Look above." I looked, then I pulled off his shirt fast and threw the blanket off the bed. As we made love, I got to view our connection from a different perspective. We just fit together, like a puzzle. So there's that chapter, like a puzzle. Like sexual and then kind of like delving into their relationship and kind of the communication they have. It's funny bringing up pennies since that's gone, that's over. Again, like I said, this chapter I don't have that many points. I did kind of say that the part where they say she stood there like a sculpture, skin like marble, her blood like roses. Not that it's the greatest movie, but if you guys have seen Queen of the Damned, when Akasha Aaliyah is all marble and stuff like that before she turns into a vampire real again, there's just a scene of her sitting next to her king and they're like all marble, and that was kind of the scene that came into my head when I wrote that. So yeah, I this weekend I had looked at some stuff from that movie. I love Aaliyah in that movie. I think she's a complete goddess in that movie. It's insane that she died like during it. Every scene that she's in, and it redeems the movie for me. And I love the soundtrack. Like, I'm into like Korn and Deftones and stuff like that. So especially back then, it was a dope album, and I still listen to the songs today. But yeah, I think she really redeemed the entire movie because every scene she was in was awesome. And later on, I'll probably bring it up again, is one, I like the name Akasha, and Akasha is like the fifth element. That is also something that I was looking at this weekend, was scenes from Fifth Element. But I really like the concept of Fifth Element. And if you guys searched Akasha, that name, that's what it means. So I use that name later on in the book. That's one thing. And two, because Lydia comes up as a child and she comes up as an adult. And when she is an adult, she reminds me of she reminds me a lot of how Akasha is. Just again, like I said, I love that like queen, that awesome goddess like concept, and I really play with Lydia having that perspective. Eowyn, on the other hand, is a lot more just sleek, and just ever so slightly like deathly or something like that, but captivating, right? So I do that, and again, Lydia's just, she's a goddess. And like I said, I got that name from this artist called Lydia. And I got to see them, and that was really awesome. I like cried during one of the songs or something, because I listened to Lydia a lot when I was like 16 and emotional and whatever. So check that band out too if you're into that. So I did kind of look over some notes that I have. So I'll tell you guys a little bit about what the book is about, and like some concepts that I do tackle with it. Because it is all poetry, every chapter does mean something. Every chapter does have its own weight. So I said the book is about rage. Because like I said, it's about my unconscious mind. It's about the subconscious. It's about my brain. Like, I sat down one day and just wrote all of this. Like, where did it come from and what could it possibly mean? So rage is one of them. I said it's about also the unmanifested. It's about life and death, about love and hate. It's about control and a lack of control. It's about beauty and disgust. It's about lessons and tests. It's also about morality, an alternative perspective, creation, betrayal and forgiveness, and dreaming. Above all things, can you dream? So those are kind of a lot of things that I tackle. And again, this paper seems a little old, so I probably wrote this quite a while ago. So there's a lot more that I kind of delve into. To get more into it, so there was one thing I noticed. I have a chapter called Cadence of Screams. That's chapter 3, and I was listening to Rise Against. Not Rise Against the Machine, just Rise Against, and they have a song. I should look it up actually, but they have a song, and they use the word cadence, and that was the first time I ever heard it when I bought that album. It's not. It was one of the albums that came out in the 2000s or something. It's not like the 90s or anything, but it's something like Approaching a Curve, I think was the name of the album. But he used the word cadence, and I remember Googling and searching it, etc. And I really liked the meaning of it, and I love the sound. I love like the combinations of letters. So I wanted to say that. I was like, oh yeah, I should have said that in the video. So I wanted you guys to know that. Because like I said, this whole book is kind of me condensed, so to speak. A lot of stuff. And I brought up to you guys the rabbit and how this girl they killed reminds them of the rabbit. So in the next video, you guys will hear this chapter, and you guys will kind of realize why Eowyn right now is kind of breaking down. She did just decide to like enjoy her man and everything like that, but there was like a breaking point. So we'll kind of go over what happened, why all of a sudden her reaction to having just killed this person, or River having just killed this person, is kind of not sitting well with them. So yes, here's this painting. I'm going to go change it soon. But yeah, I like this one, a little like swirly, acidy type stuff. Yeah, so I like this one. Just like nice colors, everything like that. You guys, maybe not this week, but weeks coming ahead, you'll see more sharper colors that I use. I enjoy these colors the most, but I do have kind of two styles that I flip and flop around, so you guys will get to see that for sure. So I'm done with this video. Thank you for watching. I do appreciate y'all. I'm going to read chapter 13 in the next video. I shall see you guys in a second.